Hey, we're here at the National Restaurant Association show. My name's Troy Hooper. I'm here with the inveterable Sean Walchef from Cali BBQ Media and Massimo DeMarco of everything robotic, Ghost Kitchen, so many things, Paestro Pizza. I'm really excited to be here and talk with these gentlemen about the show, about the industry, and about what they're excited about. So welcome, gentlemen.
This is a digital hospitality episode. This is a podcast. You have become the host of the podcast because of all the things that we care so deeply about. We literally created a show in 2017 for our restaurant. We became a barbecue media company, and we teach restaurant owners, business owners, which is why they listen to this show, how important storytelling is. You and I became friends on an audio app called Clubhouse. Massimo and I became friends on this same audio app, Clubhouse. Technology moves so quickly. We're here at the Pop Menu booth at the National Restaurant Association show. For me, digital hospitality is a blending of two worlds. It's the online world and the in real life. This is in real life. I get to meet you gentlemen, have this conversation, and get to meet all these incredible forward-thinking restaurant hospitality professionals. This is exciting.
This is amazing. Massimo?
I think it's absolutely fantastic that we're finally back to the show. I've been coming here for many, many years, and being back and just mingling with the people that have the same type of mentalities that we have. First of all, there's so many brands and so many restaurants. So we're all hospitality people. And to me, I love technology, I love robotics, I love digital, but what it boils down is hospitality, right? We're all people and we're all trying to stay in touch with the people that we care about and with the brands that we care about, and most importantly, as a brand, to our consumer, right? So this is, to me, is the biggest challenge, that now we are in this digital era, and before we used to have restaurants and we used to handle our customers as they came in. So we did that genuine hospitality towards them. The trick is, how do we do that and we bring it into the digital era? How do we transpose that hospitality that we're so good at it and put it back into the digital so that our customer can really feel the love even through a digital experience? That's the trick here, right?
Absolutely. And Sean, of all people, is an exceptional example of how to do that, because he uses his restaurant group as a testing ground, as the guinea pig, to say, what is possible? How can we make this more personable? How can we reach out into our community? Sean, tell us a little bit about the Cali BBQ story and how you're making hospitality come to life in the digital age, which is just exploding and is the new frontier for how we interact with our guests.
I think what's important for anybody that's listening to this show, whether you're listening as a podcast or you're listening on YouTube, however you're consuming the content, is that we don't have to go and be Massimo and be the great inventor. There are great inventors all over this floor. There are great technologists, there are great people that are trying to build the tools that us as restaurant owners, small business owners, can utilize to literally deliver our products to a global audience. I always think about a village. My wife is from Bulgaria, my grandfather is from Bulgaria. I go every year for a month with my son, my daughter, we go to the village. All the things that I talk about in the United States, here in Chicago at the National Restaurant Show, all the principles that I talk about to all these business owners, they're applicable in Bulgaria to the same village, to the same shop owner. Delivery is important to the shop owner. Selling their suits. I have a friend in Bulgaria, he has a suit, and I tell him he needs to be on Instagram, he needs to be on TikTok, he needs to sell the story, and what he comes back to me is fear. Ultimately, it comes back to a fear of public speaking, a fear of sharing your story, that no one's gonna care, and if they do care, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna sell too many suits. That's literally the objections. And what we're here to tell you is that because of technology, because of podcasts, because of video, you can make genuine relationships with people that are moving, industry giants, literally moving the world forward.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
Sean, what you just said it's fantastic, because it is through this type of podcast that we are able to educate maybe not the biggest brands, because the biggest brands, they have so many people that can look into solutions, like you were saying, digital solutions, technology. But the smaller brands, they don't have the luxury, they don't have the staff, they don't have that person that goes out and look into all the different solutions, right? So how do they find out? How do they find out about all this amazing invention and technology that is available right now, even at a very small cost, if not through where we met,
Yes.
right? Either your podcast or a clubhouse type of event. That is something that costs them nothing except
Yes.
for a little bit of time. But when you think that a small company is so busy trying to actually make ends meet right now with all the challenges that the industry has, they don't really have the luxuries to come here and to go to all of the great convention and the speaking engagements that we go to, and we listen to people that are absolutely amazing. So we learn every day. These folks, they're running a business. So the podcasts and the clubhouse, that is something that didn't exist before. Now it's a great resource for smaller brands to educate and to learn.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we are empathetic. We understand that the operator of a 1, 3, 5 store group is buried, right? And they're being bombarded by all these vendors approaching them and all of this information. But it's through things like this. It's through these kinds of conversations, these kinds of relationships, that we're showing everyone that the information's out there, and it's out there in a digital way. And who better to deliver it than the people that live it every day, like operators and visionaries and consultants, those who help bring that information through education. So what are the two of you most excited about here at the National Restaurant Association show while you're here? What are you looking for? What are you looking to learn about? What's going to be a surprise that you're hoping to uncover while you're here?
I mean, I think for me, just sitting here in the Pop Menu booth, Pop Menu came to us to our Restaurant Influencers podcast. They came and said, we believe in what you're building. We would love to have you share the story of what Pop Menu is doing with your audience. Now I'm developing deep relationships with the people, the team, the boots on the ground. I'm learning about their technology. I'm learning about their customer success stories. And this is one case study in lots of different tech that we have. I just gave a presentation on our tech stack. And it's ironic, it's funny, but the barbecue media guy, I'm not an expert. I'm just willing to share my mistakes that we make along the way. I'm willing to openly be vulnerable, openly be curious, ask questions. And for me, it's exciting to see someone like Massimo that as much education as he has, as much experience as he has, as he's always innovative, but he's out there asking questions. He's out there networking. He's doing the things that my grandfather taught me. My grandfather taught me to stay curious, to get involved, and to ask for help. And even someone as knowledgeable as Massimo is, he's willing to come to you, Troy, and ask you for help in the things that he might not be good at. That's the real power of what's happening. If you're willing to be vulnerable and be willing to go, hey, I'm not the expert, I don't know. Yeah. What can Pop Menu teach me? What can Massimo teach me? What can Troy teach me?
Well, and it's never been easier. I mean, like you said in the beginning, we met on Clubhouse.
Yep.
I had never heard of Clubhouse until the beginning of the pandemic. I was like, what is this? And I've learned. And now we share time together every week, twice a week on a 1 hour call.
Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Clubhouse. If you're listening to this podcast, join us because Massimo will be there, Troy will be there. We have an incredible community that we're building. But we want to make it easier for people that can't make it to this show.
And it's never been easier. That's my point.
It's
never been easier. Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, listening to your podcast and others, listening to Massimo be interviewed or give keynotes. The information's out there, and it's never been easier to consume. So I want to encourage anybody listening or watching this. I can tell you countless people that will consume this content while they're chopping onions in the kitchen. I'm in other club rooms and other topic areas where the owner is doing the schedule or doing the payroll while listening and then jumping in and asking questions. If you're curious, the information's out there and it's never been easier to consume. But now that we're here at the show and we can bring the show to the audience, Massimo, what are you looking for while you're here? What excited you when you said, I'm going to book my ticket, I'm coming here, I want to meet some folks, I want to see some things? What's on the top of your list while you're here?
A lot of hugs.
A lot of hugs.
A lot of hugs, meeting people that I haven't seen in a very long time and just being able to hug them out and say, hey, we're still standing. You guys did a fantastic job. I know it was hard, but the pandemic really put a lot of us to test and you guys came up on top of it. The other thing for me is always about equipment. What new solutions are out there? Whether it's a new oven or a new venting system, I always look at who are those people that are doing something new, because that's what I want to do. I always want to create something new, but you said a minute ago, Sean, the things that I don't know. I have a long list of things that I don't know. So his phone rings quite often, yes. Right? It's like, but so this is educating people. Again, I'm educating myself by going around and meeting with this company. Say, hey, we have an idea for this new oven. What do you think? Can you give us some feedback on how would this fit into your forecast of what you're going to do in the next few years? So that's really important. One of the things I want to do, I love predictions. I love to make bold predictions. And I'm going to take you back 2 years. So 5-6 years ago, when we launched Kitchen United, we're going around to the big brands and we're telling them ghost kitchens are going to be really important because of the digital ability of ordering the food, so you can get food at your home or your office. You don't have to go to a restaurant because convenience is really, really important. A lot of the big brands say, no, we have a great restaurant. We have an experience. People are coming to our restaurants. Their restaurants are packed all the time, so we don't need to get the Uber Eats, Grubhub, and all that stuff. That doesn't matter, right? We've heard it again this morning, right? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, we heard it this morning. And so what happens? The moment that COVID hit, all the restaurants are empty. They don't have anybody coming in for the experience in the restaurant. So a lot of this brand, they didn't know what to do because they were not set up for the digital era. I call it the digital era. And so they had to find a way to go and reach their customer. Their customer, they wanted their food, but there was no way for them to get it to them. So what did they have to do? They had to scramble, right? They had to find pop menu. They had to find ways to get the food out there. Some of them did really, really well. Some of them did poorly. The one that did it well, they excelled. The other one that did it poorly, they are not here any longer, or at least some of them are not here any longer. So my prediction is this. Don't get caught with your pants down just like those guys did with the automation and robotics. If you are a brand right now, if you're not looking at educating yourself at least a little bit on what automation and what robotics can do for your brands in the future, not right now, but maybe in the future, 18 months from now, you also will be caught with your pants down. That is my prediction. So get educated, get ready, so if something happened, you know who to call. You don't have to scramble.
Yeah, that's a very important one. I'll give you an example. I met Pop Menu in 2018 at a very small Western food show in LA in an 8x8 booth, and we're sitting in a 40x40 or something today. If that doesn't tell you where the world is going, and a company like this that's innovating, when you talk about don't get caught with your pants down, it's voice, right? Robotics are very important. AI assistants are important. Pop Menu knows that. They came out with an AI phone service so that for the people that do want to talk or use voice. But guess what? That's gonna graduate to the Alexa series and other things that aren't even invented today, where you're going to be able to order your favorite order from Chick-fil-A or whoever else that's already saved in your profile, and you're going to be able to say, hey, I want that, or where's that location? It's all going to go audio, as we've learned from the power of Clubhouse and other audio platforms. And now that's going to translate to the restaurant. So I agree, Massimo. This is moving quickly, and this train's only going to start to go faster. So if you're not already at the baseline, and that's where folks like Sean come in. Sean is made it his mission to educate every restaurateur in the industry about where they need to be today to just get ready to be here for what's coming down the pipe. So I'm looking forward to things in this space today. There's a group called Devour. I can't wait to get to the Devour booth and see Chad and those folks. You know, they're going to make creating an NFT project and a loyalty-based program through Web3 as easy as click, 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 right? They're going to make it super easy for you as a brand to go digital and be ready for Web3 and be ready for metaverse presentation and things like that. So there's a lot coming, and I think we all are just hoping that you are ready to get involved and be curious, to Sean's point. Ask questions, ask for help, and folks like us who are sitting here only want to be available to you as much as possible. That's why Massimo's out learning and educating and sharing and testing. That's why Sean's using his entire company as a thesis test, as a ground innovation grab to say, does this work? How can we make it work? and then he's educating the brands like Toast, like Pop Menu. And then for myself, you know, I only want to bring value to those emerging brands who need to create a package of solutions for themselves and for their licensing and franchising partners that are going to work with them. So I really appreciate the time today, Sean, Massimo. I'm really excited. We're all here together in real life. Somebody asked me, Troy, what are you looking forward to?
I have a bold prediction. I have a bold prediction that Troy Hooper will have his own show. And it will have his own weekly show.
Nice.
And I will hold him to it. It'll be a podcast, it'll be video, it'll be audio, it'll be words, it'll be chopped up for TikTok. That is my bold prediction for the future.
We'll see.
The internet needs more of Troy. The internet needs more of Massimo.
Indeed.
The internet needs more of Pop Menu. Thank you, Pop Menu. Thank you guys for listening to the show. We're grateful. We're grateful to be here, and we hope that next year it's you sitting at this table. If you're watching this podcast, picture yourself here next year, sitting at the table telling your story.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Tracy Lazarus that introduced me to Pop Menu.
Thank you, Tracy.
Shout out to Sean, who always makes me get in front of the camera, because without being here in real life with Sean, it wouldn't happen.
That's right.
We look forward to seeing you all here next year or online in the audioverse between now and then. Join us on Clubhouse at Digital Hospitality. Look for Sean's podcast. Look for Massimo everywhere internet is, and we'll see you soon.